everyone. So I'm doing this like life update. So Tom and I, we were going through it this past week. It was a very hard week for our relationship. Last Sunday, right before he was leaving for work, he told me something that I'm not gonna disclose. It doesn't really affect anything, but it was something that I needed to process, something I just needed to think about and understand. And because to him it's something that happened such a long time ago, he didn't really understand why I needed time to think about it. So he expected me to be okay, and I just needed time, and he wasn't giving me the time that I needed. So on Tuesday, our relationship kind of went down the tubes. It was just not looking good. And I'm going to preface this by saying it's not because either one of us stopped loving each other. That is not the reason. That is not anything. It was communication troubles that we were having that we needed to work out. We needed time to work it out and talk about it. And it took us quite a few days to work it out to where, because I'm constantly working. He had last week off, but I'm constantly working. So we hadn't really had time where I wasn't doing something. Now because, I have to pick her up from school, I have to do this, I have a doctor's appointment that I have to work late for, like I'm constantly working. So on Thursday, took a very long lunch. We started talking at about 12 o'clock, and it went for about 4 hours of us talking and, trying to see the other person's perspective. And, there was things on my side that, I wasn't getting some things that I needed, and he wasn't getting things that he needed, but the things that I needed were stuff that I needed from him, but somehow I magically expected him to just know. And I know in my head that he doesn't just know, that he needs hey babe, can you do this? Because sometimes we just don't know. And it's not lost on me that I say that to Marissa, that if you need something, you need to let me know, because I'm not a mind reader. I say that to her all the time, and I need to take my own advice. So I told Amelia, I picked her up from school early on, I think it was Tuesday, and this is before we had fixed everything, so I think it was Tuesday, I told him that I wanted him to leave, and he did not take that well, because he didn't want to leave. He wanted to fix it, and I felt like I was being forced to be okay with something that I haven't had time to think about yet, that I haven't had time to just let me understand. So I told him that I wanted him to leave. He was very upset. I was very upset. We were both very upset. It was not something easy. So my thought was, she loves him so much that I would never, ever, ever let him not see her, or not let him see her. I would never do that, because she loves him so much, and he's been such a crucial life for the last year and a half. So my thought was to pick her up early from school and let her hang out with him, because I wasn't sure what his plans were, if he had made any plans. I didn't know, because, you know, at that point we were kind of angry at each other, so we weren't really talking. So I told her that, you know, he was going to be leaving, and she threw a fit. She threw her backpack at me. She said, no, why does Tom have to leave? I want Tom to leave. I want you to leave and Tom to stay. I love Tom so much. So she didn't take it well. And of course, I don't take that well either. And I'm already not taking everything well, and I'm just trying to hold it in, and that just sent me over. And him and I have Life 360. So I could see he is getting a new job, or hoping to get a new job, so he had to do some stuff for them. He had to go out there, and he had to go out there to be there for 2 o'clock, but I looked at Life 360, and he was sitting in a parking lot on the other side of town an hour before he needed to be there. So I took her to see him, and he realized that it wasn't like that. I never fell out of love with him. It was never that. It was never that I didn't love him. It was just me trying to wrap my head around everything that was going on. And I felt like I wasn't being given time to wrap it and be able to talk. You know, like, she's kind of always around, and then, you know, after I told him that, you know, he needed to leave, he was really mad. So he stormed out, and we never got a chance to talk. So finally, so I took her to see him. She was crying. She was very upset. He was upset. So, you know, he found a shiny penny in his car, and he gave that to her. And so we went home. He went to his thing that he had to do for his potential new job. And we went home, and he came back, and I could tell that the air was different. Like, he wasn't angry. Like, he was more in the, like, let's figure that out phase. But I was still like, I just need you to leave. So he was, you know, packing, and he was getting his stuff together. He went to Walmart and got bins to pack all of his stuff, and he's not leaving. Don't cry. So he went to Walmart and got bins to pack up his stuff, and he got a duffel bag to put his stuff in, and, you know, he was packing. And this was Thursday. So I had a lot of work to do on Thursday, but I knew that this was more important. So I worked 4 hours, and then I logged off, and then I laid in bed, and we talked. And at first he was cleaning and packing, and then I think he realized that, you know, he should stop doing that and come talk to